Trying to sell people on a wave-based survival game in VR is hard nowadays, as there's no shortage of games that offer that exact experience. On top of which, using a bow and arrow in VR is also fairly played out. Between free experiences and full-fledged games, if you want to get your green arrow on in VR, you won't have to look very far. And yet, somehow, against all odds, Holopoint manages to be an archery game and a wave-based survival game that truly rewards the speed of your movements and accuracy with your virtual bow, on top of feeling fresh and fun. Holopoint is 2 parts looped ad infinitum, dodging and shooting. You shoot and you dodge, maybe dodge again, then shoot and shoot and shoot, then dodge and shoot until either everything is dead or you are. Since you're being attacked from all sides, spinning around and dispatching threats you may only be able to hear initially is a big part of your success. More than almost any other VR game I've played before, Holopoint really benefits from actually having quick reflexes. Yes, shooting your foes quickly is key, but getting the hell out of the way of the shit heading in your direction is arguably more important, as you can only take 2 hits per wave. Otherwise, game over. And because moving, and moving quickly, is so essential, I'd advise you stretch a bit before you play, or at least do some squats or windmills, something. Thankfully, as you progress, the game gives you a sort of checkpoint system, so once you reach a particular milestone, you can just start right there. Personally, I didn't start using checkpoints until I cracked wave 15, as I found starting at wave 1 and easing myself into the later waves was the best recipe for success. Still, eventually, you hit a point where you simply want to dive into the heated action the later waves bring, and Holopoint gives you that option. On top of that, Holopoint offers a time trial mode if you want to get better at fighting a particular type of enemy or a combination of enemies under a time limit, but I found that to be pretty meh. What was really driving me forward in Holopoint was my high score and my desire to beat my previous best, and eventually, everyone else's, and that's something the time trial just lacks. Now, I'm not the #1 Holopoint player in the world, yet, and sure, it's unlikely that I'll ever actually get there, but unless I lose my legs in like a freak escalator accident or something, I don't expect I'll ever be giving up my dream of at least cracking the top 100. In fact, the only thing stopping me from playing this game until my eyes bleed is the fact the game essentially requires you to take breaks, and I'm not saying just because you'll be tired as hell and sweating balls, which you will be. No, I'm calling attention to perhaps the biggest flaw with the Vive in general, an issue that really hurts the kind of game that Holopoint is. You see, all games that have enemies attacking you from all sides, which is pretty much every room scale game, demands you spin around here and there, but in Holopoint you're doing it so frequently that your cord will get tangled in no time. It looks like a damned horror movie when I take my headset off. And actually, now that I'm always starting at wave 25, I pretty much only get 1 or 2 runs before I have to unplug my Vive, restart Steam VR, and restart Holopoint. There's no getting around it, and it fucking sucks. Now seriously, when you think about it, we went to space, we're 2 steps away from making the fucking holodeck. I'm done with wires and cables forever. I'll pay any amount, I don't care. I don't care! I don't care! Still, and knowing these issues exist, there really isn't anything quite like Holopoint. I really haven't felt this drive to beat a high score since I dug into the first Geometry Wars, which, in a lot of ways, that's what Holopoint reminds me of the most. Geometry, of sorts, is constantly trying to kill me from all angles with vaguely techno-ish music playing in the background. For the asking price of $15, I can't say this is a bad deal at all, based on how many hours I've gotten and how much I still want to jump back in and play. And I'm not sitting here saying, hey, this is the best archery game of all time. I'm not even saying this is the best VR archery game of all time. But I am saying if you want one of the best wave-based survival games that happens to be played with a bow and arrow, then Holopoint's the game for you. It's fun and it's frantic and it's got the best ducking and weaving and returning fire this side of SuperHot, except the only difference being you don't have the benefit of slow motion, shit's flying at you, and you're expected to get the hell out of the way. So get the hell out of the way, pick up that bow and arrow, and get to work.